Well, the ACC and the Pac-12 could be teaming up as they continue to adjust the college realignment. Conferences, of course. Our Dennis Dodd reports that the two leagues have discussed what is being described as a loose partnership. That deal would potentially result in the two conferences playing a championship game in Las Vegas at the end of the season. For more of this, of course, I want to bring in the man himself, Dennis Dodd, college football senior writer there. And Dennis, the ACC Pac-12 discussing loose partnership. How will this kind of work out? Can you break down what we're seeing here possibly?
Yeah, Brandon, this is really about extracting more money from ESPN and being able to survive in the wake of USC, UCLA going to the Big Ten. Both conferences have talked about this quote unquote, limited partnership where they would play some non-conference games against each other and then a championship game in Las Vegas at the end of the season. Where that goes from there, I don't know. I don't know if that follows a championship game by both conferences. But I know especially in the ACC, they are so concerned, the teams in that league, about how far they are going to fall behind the SEC and, for that matter, the Big Ten in terms of TV revenue. The term given to me was upwards of $50 million per year that they have to do something. Is this likely to happen? Probably not. But everything, it seems now, is on the table for those teams and schools that are left out of the top two to get into that top two, those Super Two, those top two conferences, and grab the brass ring before the window of opportunity shuts.
This is all interesting because this comes on the heels of what we saw earlier last week. There were USC and UCLA trying to leave and head to the Big Ten in the future, but the Big 12 kind of pushing for Pac-12 teams here. What's the latest that you're hearing about that?
Yeah, this is really interesting. I wrote that story yesterday about the Big 12 looking at up to 6 schools from the Pac-12 to add to really fortify the conference. I don't know if they bring really much pro rata that's equal value to what their contract would have been, but at least it gives them, a buffer. At least gives them up to 20 teams actually. But then minutes after my story posted, the Pac-12 put out a release that they're going to market. Basically a couple of years early with a 30-day exclusive negotiating window with ESPN and Fox. If not right now, then soon. And if those entities pass, then it'll go out to market. The problem is they're only doing it with 10 schools. There's no oath of loyalty from the 10 remaining schools. And as one person in the Pac-12 told me, how do you go to market when you don't know who's going to be in your conference? So as what happened yesterday, they are going to market, trying to price their media rights. But as I was told, that could change in 3 months if the membership changes.
Dennis, real quickly before I let you go, give me one word to kind of describe what we're seeing here basically on the college front and in sports at its total as we get closer to the fall here.
It's crazy. Last year was shocking with Texas and Oklahoma. I would submit that this is even more shocking, where USC and UCLA would pick up stakes and end a 94-year relationship as West Coast flagships and, get on board with flying 5 hours to the East Coast for a volleyball game, basically to chase this media rights money. And it's been that way for a while. It's been that way since 1984 when the Supreme Court deregulated college football television. That's another story. But now the money is so big, $80 to $100 million, generational money. And the next step still, Brandon, remains, what is Notre Dame going to do? Can they pass up this kind of money, give up their independence, join the Big Ten? And if that happens, you're going to see cascading waves of realignment, because that will open the floodgates once again.
Teams and programs and conferences trying to make those money moves as always. Dennis Dodd, appreciate your time breaking all that down, at least to what we are at this point. Don't forget the fellas on the Cover 3 podcast always doing the same as well. We're still in Bud Summer School talking about Cal, Washington State, and Fresno State, breaking down those programs as we head into the season as well. Download and give them a follow.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.